Alrighty, what's going on, guys? IXKS6I here, back with a video, one where, no one would ever want to make this type of video, but unfortunately I'm going to have to address this to you guys for reasons being for my personal channel. This is why I've not been uploading. This is why I've not been doing well for my channel, because of further detail I will issue later on. Now, this is not going to be a stream meant for purposes containing video only. This is actually commentary only, and I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5 to use this as a demonstration of what happened. And like I was saying, for my personal channel, I did not upload because I have been waiting on the facts and details of this tragic incident that occurred last Friday, which I believe was July. Let me check real quick. Last Friday, it was July 27th, and the incident occurred at 4:03 p.m. Central Standard Time. So the reason I'm not uploading my channel is because I'm waiting for the article facts. I did not want to assume. I actually recorded and did a commentary video about this, explaining the incident, but on that video I made an assumption which was very disrespectful, and I actually wanted to delete that footage because I did not want to assume what happened. But the reason that we also missed an upload or a live stream to this channel Monday was due to the fact that me and MMBase planned something, but it did not go accordingly. We didn't think about it, and it was already too late at night, so we did just want to apologize for that. But without any further ado, you guys, before the video even starts, I just want to say my prayers and condolences go out to the families involved in this incident, and I can only be thankful that it wasn't me or my family that actually would have been involved in this. And some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is going to be very graphic to some of you. There will be no images due to the fact I'm live streaming, but as you guys can tell by the thumbnail, stay with me if you guys want to. I'm just going to be explaining the story from start to finish of what happened, how it all happened, and further details of later on of what actually currently is going on with this incident. So to start it off, like I said, I'll use Grand Theft Auto 5 as a demonstration later on, but currently my internet's crapping out on me, but most of my friends know what happened. I'm okay, my family is okay. However, people involved in this are not, unfortunately. But we're just gonna get straight to it, you guys. Now, like I said, this may not seem too graphic or disturbing to you guys as it is to me and my family who witnessed this firsthand. Now, I'm not doing this for attention, I'm not doing this for views. This is definitely something that is absolutely disgusting and horrible to witness. What's going on, Raze? Thank you so much for joining, man. But I'm gonna hop right into it as we start right now. So last Friday, me and my family, me and my mom and my dad, my two brothers were at home, and we were heading up north to go on a camping trip like we do. We go camping almost every single weekend. And we're on this road. I'm not going to say roads or anything like that, so you guys can look up the article. I'm trying to keep this as private as possible. I'm not trying to publicize people out there or anything like that. So we're on this road, and the coincident thing, or the coincidence of this road is a long time back when my mom was bringing us to some place for church or something like that, like a camp, like a summer camp. We nearly got killed in a head-on-head collision from a Mustang that passed 5 people, and we had to swerve out of the way. Otherwise, he said, we would have been killed in a head-on. So Reese, I am totally fine, but I'll give you some information later on. He said, "Is my family okay?" Everything for me is okay. I was a witness. I just wanted to clear that up. Nothing happened to my family, but it's just a very, very, very traumatic thing what happened, okay? So we're driving on this road. We're following the semi. Thank God for the semi, okay? So we're following the semi, and we're coming through this tiny little town with a population of 216 people, right? Mom's in the backseat of our truck. Keep in mind, we're pulling an 8,000-pound camper and driving an F-250. You guys have seen on my personal channel, but we're driving, and all of a sudden we're going up this hill, or starting to go up this little hill. And keep in mind, it dropped from a 50 speed limit, a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit zone, to a 30 due to the fact that we were going through this tiny little town. So we go through this town, the semi's hitting gears, and all of a sudden this car comes flying up over the top of the hill. Me and my dad, you know, of course at this time, were like, you know, holy shit. And the person swerved to the right, swerved to the left, and by the time me and my dad could say, oh my gosh, you know, we were behind the semi, person was coming head on head at us, or at the semi in front of us. She veered over to the left of the semi. From our view, she was gone, and it was about a matter of 2 to 3 seconds before the semi, or before she completely smacked into the semi head on. So what happened was, the semi was fully loaded down with 76,000 pounds of sand with a 800-pound brush guard on the front. So she smacked into him doing about 50-55 miles an hour. He hit her so hard, or she hit him so hard, but of course, you know, it's a semi, and he spun her around, as seen in the thumbnail. And you know, my mom is a nurse, and she looked up as this happened, and nearly as this is going on, my dad slowly come to a stop with the camper, because you can't just slam on the brakes with the camper, or pulling, you know, a load or something like that. So we slowly start slowing down as we witness it. We're the first people to witness this, and this is why it's so traumatizing. I'll explain later on, but we nearly almost get rear-ended as well. So I get out of the vehicle while it's still moving. I dial 911 at 4:03 p.m. I still have it in my call list. And, you know, my mom's like, let me out, and all of a sudden, the car starts on fire. So, you know, we're like, okay, now we have to act in a matter of minutes before this car starts on fire, or before it burns down to the ground with the person inside of the vehicle. So, you know, my mom's like, let me out, you know, I need to help her, I need to help the person out. So I jump out of the vehicle while it's still moving, not that fast, like 10 miles an hour. So I jump out, open the door for my mom, my dad stops, and we run up to the scene. And the thing that is the most traumatizing is the smell, the way it happened, the imagery, and just of the sound of another vehicle smacking into another vehicle. That's critical and traumatizing. It's horrible. But so I run up there, I'd call 911, and all of a sudden the trucker gets out, and, you know, of course he's pissed off because this just happened to him. Unfortunately, it had to be him, but also thank God it happened to him, and I'll explain why. I'm not doing that for disrespect. You guys will understand later on. But, you know, I run up there, I'm on the phone with 911, and the trucker hops out. He's like, what the F? You know, he's cussing. He's like, why did she just hit me, or something like that? You know, what was she doing? And as you guys can see in the thumbnail, the car looks like she was parallel. So if the trucker got out of his door, when he got out of the door, he hit her and spun her around, or she hit him and he spun her around. And when he got out, her passenger door was right to his left. So he got out and he's like, what the F? And he looks in the car and he sees the person laying in there. So he starts going into shock, and, you know, of course he's flipping out. You know, he's like, oh my God, is she okay? So I run up there, you know, I'm on the phone with 911 telling them I just witnessed a head-on, the car's on fire, and just stuff like that. And unfortunately, I couldn't help to pry open the car door as the car was on fire to pull the body outside of the vehicle. So I witnessed that. Otherwise, I of course would have, but otherwise no medical would have came, or cops would have came, because no one else dialed besides me, since we were the first responders. And then of course everyone started piling around, and like I said, being my mom and nurse, they pulled her out of the car. And this is where stuff gets graphic. The engine bay, if you guys could see in the thumbnail, you can't see, like, the way I took a picture. I also took a picture of the vehicles as well from behind, and you can see the engine bay was pushed all the way to about where her legs were in the gas pedal. So her engine bay, of course, you know, got pushed up. So if you go about 2 to 3 inches up your knee and down your knee, and took a knife and stabbed down to your bone and completely cut a complete circle, or a square, pardon me, all the way around that. Her leg was dangling there, as well as with her arms, and she was wearing no seatbelt. And I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, she was pronounced dead on scene on impact, or she was pronounced dead on the scene because what happened was, obviously you hit a fully loaded semi, wearing no seatbelt, doing that fast when your car is pushed in, when your engine is pushed to your feet. She was pronounced dead on the scene, but we figured out she was dead on impact, because when we pulled her out and when her arms and legs were dangling there, no blood ever, the only blood was on the airbag, and otherwise, you guys, this is just common sense stuff, is if you are alive and you cut yourself by accident or you break something and there's blood will continuously flow. And with the wound she had, like literally, I remember I can see everything, I can smell everything, I can hear the sound of everything, but there was no blood gushing out of her wounds, which was a pretty, clear sign that she was dead on impact. So I pulled the trucker aside, since we're the first ones on scene, and in GTA here in a little bit I'll show you guys what kind of really happened. But I pull the trucker aside, and my mom starts performing compressions on her, CPR, and I'm still on the phone with 911, and my mom, the dispatch lady was, asking me, where are you, what's your location? So I gave her the location, asked if I was okay. So I go up to the trucker, I ask him, I'm like, sir, I need a location in order to get help on the way. And I asked him once I hung up, once I got the location, and I got transferred to another dispatch lady. While I was being transferred, I asked the trucker, and I said, are you okay? And at this point, the lady's car was put out. Thank God someone with fire extinguishers put the car out. And I'm being transferred over to dispatch, another dispatch of the county that we were in. And so, I pull the trucker aside, and I start talking to him, like, okay, are you okay? And he's like, I'm totally fine. She veered in my lane. And then the dispatch lady comes on, and she says, what's your emergency, whatever. I told her the same thing I did, and then she said, does the lady or whoever, is she alive, or does she have a pulse? And I heard my mom, she's like, okay, we have no pulse, give me an AED, I need oxygen, I need masks, I need pads, all this stuff for medical, right? So, I tell her that, and then she says, okay, stay calm, I have to give her my information due to the fact that I was the first one to call and witness it. So I hang up, I pull the trucker, and he's sitting there. Of course he's in shock. No one ever wants to experience this, especially the person being accountable for this. So he's sitting there staring at the body as people are doing compressions. My mom's doing CPR on her, and the lady has no pulse. Her legs and arms are dangling there just by the skin. And he's looking at her, so I pull him aside, and I was like, are you sure you're okay? I said, I realize what you're driving, but I just need to check. I was like, are you okay? I want to make sure you're okay. He said, I'm okay. And I looked at him, and I said, don't look at the body anymore. I said, trust me, don't look at it, it's gonna make it 10 times worse if you keep looking at it. I said, I understand what's going on, but I said, just don't look at the body. So I pull him aside even farther, and he's like, dude, did you guys see what happened? I said, actually, I want to take a moment and thank you. And he said, take a moment and thank me. I just killed the lady. And I said, you did not kill anyone. I said, we were the vehicle behind you. And at this moment, all traffic starts jamming up, of course. And I said, if you were not here, I said, she would have killed me, my mom and my dad, or any other vehicle. But like I'm saying, you guys, this is why it's so traumatizing and so scary, is to the fact that if that semi, just think about it, we're the vehicle behind the semi. If he would have taken a day off for anything, if he would have turned off this turn before, I would not be sitting here talking to you guys. I would have been killed in a head-on car accident. Now keep in mind, I don't know if you guys could see by the thumbnail, she totaled out a semi, okay? Our F-250 is not a freaking semi. It's not even close to as big as it is. He had 60,000 more pounds than what we did. So it was, he's talking to me, and, he said, I killed someone, why are you thanking me, and stuff like that. I said, you did not kill anyone. I said, she killed herself. She swerved into you. Now, he's like, okay, and then I said, I honestly want to take a moment and say thank you. I said, unfortunately, you had to be one that she hit, but every single person back here is probably, thanking you, because you guys seriously would think about it, if me, my mom and my dad would have been killed in a head-on car accident, if it wasn't for that semi or any of those other vehicles. It could have been a mom and all her kids and all the kids' friends in a vehicle that would have been killed in a car accident. Instead, the lady, like I said, was pronounced dead on scene. So, you know, he starts talking, and I start calming him down. It's, you know, he understood where I was coming from. And at this point, you know, cops finally show up after 15 freaking minutes. And, you know, I get pulled aside, and I get, you know, a police report, and I told them what happened. I told them how she came flying up over the hill, how she crossed into his lane, struck the semi head on. So, you know, I write an accident report, do all that fun stuff. Definitely not fun. I've never had to do that in my life. But at this point, I'm just trying to get over the fact that, okay, I'm not dreaming. This is reality. Stay strong. You know, try to do the best that you can. So, and I'm starting to talk with the sheriffs because I was the first one to call. They needed information. Me and my dad were talking to him, being witnesses, of course. And he's like, some guy comes up while we're sitting there writing our accident reports, sorry. And he's like, who called about her swerving 4 miles back down the road? Now, this is the reason why I did not record and upload this on my channel, because there's an article on this that said alcohol was likely a factor of what happened. Now, at the moment, I realized that it said likely and it was not for sure. So before, when I actually uploaded that, or when I recorded that, I did not want to disrespect the person like that, and I did not want to upload false information. Therefore, the reason why I was waiting, that's why I'm giving you guys right now just what I know of currently. I do not want to give out false information. I don't want to disrespect someone, especially for this. You know, like I said, my prayers go out to the families for those involved in the crash. But you know, people were sitting there because I didn't want to assume, because what happens if it was medical? It could have been drinking and driving, could have been medical, it could have been she was texting and driving, could have been she fell asleep at the wheel. But the whole thing is, I don't want to assume something that's this serious. So, you know, we get on with our way, and you know, it's just happens to know that, or it happens to be that the semi truck driver is actually one of the best friends with my neighbors. So the semi driver is okay. Unfortunately, like I said, the lady who hit the semi and crashed into the semi was pronounced dead on the scene. And for us, either she had cardiac tamponade when her heart exploded, or her neck was snapped on impact, or she had medical and died and was pronounced dead on the scene when she smacked into that. Because when we saw her come up flying over the hill, it's like she reached down or she fell asleep and pushed the gas pedal all the way down, because you could, like I said, you could hear it, and you could just hear, you know, the engine accelerating rapidly, chirping of the tires when she jerked right, jerked left, and then just a loud crash, crunch, disturbing sound that at least I'll never ever forget. And it's just horrible. Like I said, I do want to apologize if I ruined any of your guys' nights, but I just wanted to let you guys know, my family, I am okay. I'm very blessed to be alive. Like I said, it's not going to hit you guys probably as deep, but when you think about something this close, you know, you have your near-death experiences caught on GoPros when it was a person that nothing was really there to block them besides, you know, themselves just being near that close. But if you really do think about it, if you're put in this position, which I hope you guys are never ever put in this position, I hope you guys are never ever put in this position in your lives where you guys have to see something like this. But it's just horrible. But like I said, if that semi was not there, I wouldn't be speaking with you guys. I would have left my 2 brothers, my dog, with, you know, my parents and me would have been killed in a head-on-head collision. So basically, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what happened in Grand Theft Auto 5 here, but, you know, not with a semi or anything like that. And I do want to apologize for the bad quality. For some reason, my internet's been messed up. I know it's kind of a stormy day, but it's probably just because I've been uploading or I should say using a crap ton of internet. But I need a side street just like this one. So here we go with the hill, basically, okay? So we are in this guy's position right here. You know, we're cruising down here. We'll go over here, guys. Oh Jesus, look at that, man! Just great, hitting cars already. Buddy, you might want to flip over. Just want to find a decent road where I can show you guys and explain what happened, so you guys can. I'm pretty sure you guys got a pretty good idea. We're just gonna go on one of these side streets over here. It doesn't need to be hilly or anything like that. It just needs to be a 2-lane road just like this. Okay, so we're sitting here driving along, following a semi like this, and she comes like this white car flying up over the hill and goes like this. So we're back there. She comes absolutely flying up over the hill, kind of goes like this, accelerates. Oh, I'm on a bike, so it's harder. Goes like this. You know, she spun right, or you know, she steered right, she jerked right, squealed left, hit the gas pedal, full blown, bam, into the semi. Is how it happened, and we were a car right here, facing, of course, this way. It's just definitely a traumatizing experience, but thank you for those who are supportive about it. But that's what happened. Very unfortunate event. All I can say, you guys, is stay blessed, be grateful you guys are alive, and that's why I say that, you guys. It's not, you know, it's not for views. It's not to fake a personality. It's who I am as a person. I want you guys, you know, be thankful you guys are alive. Don't ever take your life for granted, because the things that you love, your loved ones, can be taken away from you so incredibly quick, and it happens in an instant. Like I said, I'm not going to assume anything for now. It said alcohol was likely a factor. We don't know for sure. Like I said, prayers and condolences go out to those families involved in the crash. Definitely a traumatic experience, but thank you guys seriously so much for watching. We will have a normal video going up Friday. This one should be interesting. I'm not, you know, of course I'm just exhausted right now. Me and Emma Bays had a fun day. We were hanging out IRL, just chilling, you know, working on stuff like that, and I got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow morning as well, so I just want to get to bed, get some rest. I'm totally fine. I'm not that traumatized anymore. It just happens to be 10:30 at night. For some reason I'm exhausted, but I just wanted to let you guys know what happened, why I was not really uploading to my channel, and everything will be back up to normal starting this Friday. And for my channel, I'll upload just a short summary of what I just gave to you guys in this live stream tomorrow. So thank you guys seriously so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to us, for all the continuous support, and all I can really say, you guys, is please just don't take your life for granted. Live it, love it, be proud for what you are, be proud of who you are. Wake up every morning, grind for the person you want yourself to be. You want to be, you know, you want to be some strong person. You want to be some person who is amazing at a sport. You're going to fail. You're going to experience rough times. You're going to experience times when you feel like you're not that person. You're not the person you want to be. But I'm telling you guys, wake up. Don't let that get to you. Seriously, grind for who you want to be. Life is so incredibly short. As like I said, it's not as deep probably for you guys, but experiencing something like that firsthand makes you definitely think and make better decisions personally. So like I said, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in Friday's video. Have a good night, guys. Thank